You get a raise, and for a second, it feels good. Then, nothing changes. Not because the number was small, but because by the time it shows up, rent already went up. Groceries cost more. Insurance went up too. The raise doesn't land in your life. It lands in a gap that was already there. This happens now, all the time. You're making more than you did a few years ago. Your job looks better on paper, but somehow you have less breathing room. The income grows, the space disappears. That's not how it was supposed to work. For a long time, the logic was simple. Earn more, stress less. A raise meant security. It meant you could stop worrying about at least one thing. It meant margin. And for a while, that was true. A raise gave you space. You could fix the car without panicking. You could take a day off without doing math. You could say yes to dinner without checking your balance first. Then that stopped. Now the raise comes and everything around you has already adjusted. Your paycheck is bigger, but the distance between that paycheck and your real needs hasn't changed. Sometimes it's smaller. You're not imagining it. Rent goes up. Childcare goes up. Health insurance costs more and covers less. Higher premiums, higher deductibles, higher copays. You're earning more but covering less. And it's not just the big stuff. It's the prescription that used to be cheap, the grocery trip that used to be normal, the phone bill, the internet, the car insurance that resets every few months and somehow climbs every time. Everything moves now, and it moves faster than your paycheck. So the raise doesn't feel like relief. It feels like keeping up, barely. You're not falling behind in the obvious way. You're employed, you pay your bills, you do what you're supposed to do. But there's no cushion, no margin, no moment where you stop bracing. And that's what nobody warned you about. The stress doesn't come from earning too little anymore. It comes from living without room for anything to go wrong. One surprise expense and the whole month unravels. One medical bill, one car repair, one unexpected charge. Suddenly you're moving money around, deciding what doesn't get paid, hoping nothing else breaks. You used to believe the raise would fix that if you earned just a little more, things would finally ease. But the raise came and the pressure stayed. Sometimes it got worse because the system around you keeps growing. The economy grows, corporate profits grow, productivity grows, stock prices grow. Everything they measure goes up, except your stability. You're working the same hours, sometimes more. You're earning more, and somehow nothing feels safer. Growth is everywhere, except in the parts of your life that decide whether you can relax. That contrast just sits in you now, quiet, constant. You hear about record profits while deciding whether to fix your tooth. You hear about economic expansion while wondering how you'll afford rent next year. The growth is real. It's just happening somewhere else. Not in your housing security, not in your health care, not in your savings. Raises keep coming, slowly, incrementally, but they don't create the feeling they used to. They don't build security. They just keep you standing in place while everything gets more expensive around you. And eventually you realize something. What matters isn't the size of the number. It's whether that number gives you space, whether it lets you breathe without calculating, whether it creates margin. And it doesn't anymore. Margin is what's missing. The ability to absorb a problem, to take a small risk, to make a choice that isn't pure survival. That used to come from income. Now it doesn't. And nobody talks about that shift. They talk about wages, they talk about growth, they talk about opportunity. They don't talk about the quiet disappearance of stability. But you are living inside it. You watch your income move, your security stays still. You watch the economy grow, your margin shrinks. Everything improves in the big picture. Nothing improves in your daily life. The old belief is still there. Earn more, stress less. Get the raise, get the relief. But the relief stopped showing up. The raise comes, you're still anxious, still calculating, still one expense away from a problem. The money is higher, the fear is the same, because what you actually need isn't more income, it's predictability, it's margin, it's the feeling that one bad week won't wreck everything. And that's not what growth creates anymore. Growth creates bigger numbers, more activity, more transactions, more revenue, but it doesn't create space. So you keep working, you keep earning, you keep hoping the next raise will finally change something. But deep down, you already know it won't. Because costs move faster than raises. And as long as that's true, raises will never feel like relief. They'll just feel like keeping up. And keeping up doesn't reduce stress. It just keeps it alive. You're not stressed because you earn too little. You're stressed because you're living without margin. And the system that used to create that margin stopped doing it. It just kept growing. So here you are, earning more, feeling less stable, waiting for something to shift. But nothing shifts. Raises come, costs move faster, the gap stays open, and the belief that once made sense doesn't anymore.